All right, let's start. All right, thank you for being here, back, and around the Dharma. To talk about the Dharma, to meet ourselves, to get some space, to gladden the mind, to feel connected to the practice. I would like to invite you for a short moment to recollect or let's say something that you're grateful for right now. It can be very, very simple, just being here together. To practice mindfulness, to listen to the Dharma, to be alive, to have a shelter, a roof over our head, a little bit of heat, and to be able to sit, whatever. If it can help, you can join your hands in front of your heart. Bring gratitude. This gratitude moment helps to, of course, gladden the mind, and also it also helps us to recollect that nothing is granted. All right, this moment is not granted. This body is not granted. It's going to disappear. This moment is going to disappear. Health is going to disappear. And sometimes we say, yeah, but I have nothing to be grateful for. Maybe just listening to those words, being together. Not long time ago, maybe 4 years ago. My body was so sick, and my spine was so weak, and my core muscles were so weak that I couldn't even sit. I could stand for a short while, I could lie down, but I couldn't sit. So today I'm very grateful that I'm able to sit and to speak, to sit in meditation. How grateful I am for that. Meditation is not always pleasant, you know. You have to face your own thoughts, right? Proliferation of the mind, the worries, the restlessness, maybe the greed, impatience, and so on. You have to face it radically. There is nowhere else to go. There is no escape. Well, you can start dreaming, imagining, thinking, pondering possibilities. But if you bring mindfulness forth, then you will have to be what comes up. This is a practice. Comes up. Stand with the difficulty of being still, of collecting the mind. But one can watch the difficulty as difficulty. Accept it. Difficulty feels like this. Sitting with the body still feels like this. Having painful thoughts feels like this. Having a proliferating mind feels like this. And we can start to meet everything that arises with equanimity. Equanimity or evenness of mind. If ease is there, same as if difficulty is there. So this is where for some the practice looks very, very difficult because we have preferences. And we thought, okay, maybe I should work on the body first to make it at ease. And then I'd be able to meditate. But sometimes we just sit and with an equanimous mind and just watch what's coming up. With, we could say with radical acceptance. That was the title of a book I read by Tara Brach. And this is radical acceptance. I would say it's quite good synonym of equanimity. Although any kind of language, then it's supposed that someone has to accept what's coming up. But equanimity is kind of the reactivity to whatever comes up, kind of, well, let's say the reflexes, the impulses, The desire to change anything just drops. It's not there. There is no desire to want the things to be different, to change them, to make them better. There is just a presence in the meeting of whatever arises. So it's not really indifference. It's just maybe giving space around phenomena, equanimity. It's like there is phenomena, conditioned phenomena rising and passing away. It can be perceptions, images, visions, memories, projections into the future, feelings, sense contact. So there is a kind of diversity, dynamism, dynamics, and around that there could be this equanimity to whatever arises. And equanimity is actually one has to be developed, and it's part of the 7 factors of awakening. So a factor that has to be developed and cultivated. So the 7, I'm looking there because I receive a very nice gift. I'm showing you by one of you. So it's a big, I don't know if you can see. So it's the statue of the Buddha. You can see my setting too. And actually there are, it's a list. There are many lists that are related to the Pali Canon. And it's written in English and in German. So I can, yeah. Then I won't forget anything anymore. It's really the very nice gift for a Dharma teacher. So I was looking at it, and there is also this list of the 7 factors of awakening, and among them the mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. So by the way, there is, because I know that this factor is often put aside, but investigation of the dhammas, of the phenomena, are one of them. And it's always discarded. Investigation, inquiry, really, insight practice. So equanimity, but it's difficult to know exactly what it is, right? So what is she talking about? Well, I would say that it's not easy to illustrate, but as a practice, I can invite you now, for example, to keep your eyes open. But for a moment, wherever you are, wherever you stand, you just look around, not look, but just with a kind of peripheral vision, a very broad vision, you look at space. Just in front of you, wherever you are, just receive this perception of space. So without moving the eyes here and there, but just look at space, infinite space, you can put the focus of your gaze far away, not on a specific point because you will broaden your sight, and stay with for a moment with the perception of space. So you notice that in space there are many forms, many objects, maybe beings, there is movement. But if you stay with the perception of space, you do not really look at the specifics. The space has really no kind, no texture, not even dimension. It's not really in between things. It's not really overlaying things. But it's up, down, right, left, front, back. Everywhere we are bathed in space somehow. And we can say that space is not really reactive, so things can move, can shift. Space is still space. It's measureless, so you can also expand your perception even further away in the vast, vast cosmos. All dimensions. And even if you consider the entire universe, all the stars, the planets, well, those are the specific forms. You stay with the perception of infinite space rather than what fills it. So you can do this kind of practice for longer period of time, but this is to illustrate a kind of it's playing with the perception and with abstractions for sure. But it helps you to taste a little bit what it is, for example, to enter a room and have no real preferences for this object of that object. To have this evenness of perception around forms. And it can expand actually to many, many things. So it's also sometimes we say same but different. So this is the specificity of the different forms in the space, yet there is this space. So the sameness and difference that actually coexist. And this equanimity, if developed and cultivated, also help with uh, releasing the tendency for favoring or opposing. So, for example, you can also train with food. Whatever food is served, then you eat. Or you can also mix up food, like mix up taste. Whatever taste then is the results, then you eat the food. That's good training. You would see that it doesn't work like that. And there is a taste and then there is a feeling associated to it. I want to more of that one. This is disgusting. I don't want that one. But try to eat whatever. Whatever is given, whatever is served. Or just, it starts with eating not what you like, but what is healthy, for example. Okay, and what is healthy is often not necessarily what you like, but eat it anyway. Okay, feeling not tasty, feeling not this and this. And then you will see, you will be able, after some amount of training, to endure the different tastes than to eat anything. Okay, food is food. And then there is food is food, and then there is contentment in whatever is served, actually. Yes. It also helps in being with any people, not only like-minded people. We prefer being with like-minded people, but why? Then whoever is with you, you are not necessarily here to receive only what you like, right? So equanimity towards what is given to you, something, something beautiful. Thank you. Something not beautiful. Thank you. And then you don't even characterize it as beautiful or not beautiful. It's just thank you. And in meditation, when there is joy arising, bliss arising, misery arising, misery, 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 joy, 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 then if it's met with equanimity, it's kind of release the pressure of it should be this or it should be that. It releases the pressure of the meditator who has to be good or better or different. I shouldn't be miserable in meditation. There is misery, there is misery. Let's leave it cool down and let it move on. There will be misery. I guarantee you. Yes. So you sit with it. You sit with health, you sit with sickness, until the point where there is no longer sickness and health differentiation. You can see also how the mind works when you try to broaden your sight, your view around space. What is it when you focus on one form, and how it is when you start to defocus some kind of. When you focus on one form and you start to look at the specifics, to make contact with the form, and the mind starts to look at what you find gratifying about that, how it can be used, how can I get something from that, or if it's has such characteristic of not beauty or not being useful, then okay, let's put it there, discard it, try to find something more interesting. All right, and the mind starts to be scattered, and then intention to get to see more, or maybe oh, this is beautiful, but I could change into so that it matches my taste. Then intention, action, wanting more of that kind of objects, and then I start to wanting to possess, right? But if this process of non-differentiation through things, people, structure, if it kind of stops, then boundaries start to dissolve, right? Structures, abstraction, characterization, classification. And when it happens, well, less problems. And when equanimity is developed in meditation, in daily life, at the mundane level or at the supramundane level, then let's say that the mind less seeks for outside uh, objects. And when I say objects, it's form, it's also sight, sounds, taste, touch. This one or this one. It's almost not really a shrug of shoulders, but it sees that delighting in this or in that somehow it's the kind of same thing. It's impermanent, it leads to suffering, it's not personal, it just has a different shape, it just has a different note, right? It's just a different texture, different bodily feelings, yet it's all the same, comes and goes, all the same characteristics, the three characteristics of existence: permanence, not self, and unsatisfactoriness. And then what? Again, another one, another one, until there is no other one. It's just all the same. And even at some points when it's developed, then there is no even kind of separation between different phenomena. I mean, sight or sounds or smells or taste or thought are just kind of the same things, indifferentiated. But at the beginning, yes, there is a kind of, we have to endure. We have to endure Vedana, feeling tones, pain. We have also to say, when you have lots of joy and delight in something, then put the word endure on it also. I have to endure joy today. I have to endure pain today. You see, I have to endure joy. Yeah. Then joy becomes equal to pain, something that comes and goes. That is not that satisfactory. So nothing to grab onto, to hold onto, even not joy. And it really quite goes against the conditioning that we have, that we are given in our society, where everything has to be customized, right? From fashion, from personality, we want to be original people. I don't know, everything you. This is all about not being common, all about being peculiar, and being very well, having this very specific shape somehow. So we are defined, given a shape, given some skills. Well, the personality is, yeah, customized. Everything you buy, now you can buy a car and I don't know, have pink doors and a green roof and choose this kind and this kind of tires. So it's all about maybe being different, customized, made the way you like. And also for the body, for the clothes, for the makeup, and so on. Also, you are put into structures with role status and so on. We don't want to be, well, sometimes we want not to be invisible. We want to be seen, understood, listened to, not rejected. So we are in favor of choice, of deliberate choice. While what is given to us by life is generally not chosen. So we have this tendency again to say, no, those conditions I don't want them, I want to change them. Or we seek for someone to blame. And we do not really look at the feeling that those conditions make on us. And this is this reactivity on the feelings that makes us reject the conditions, reject what is brought to us in life, and makes us suffer. Because we are trying to not wanting what we have, or we want something we do not have. Instead of meeting the feeling with this equanimous mind, even mind, it feels like this. feeling like this or like that. And then you can play around also with the words, what people tells you, what people tell you. Okay. Often we react also to words, to what is said to us. Words of praise, we like. Words of blame, we don't like. Words. Mhm. Words received, meaning put onto words, being hurt, feelings of being hurt, feels like this. But often meaning perceptions carry us already into reactivity, solidification of the me, and wanting something else. And then blaming the other person to not talk kindly to you. So we want then to change the other person, or we think that the other person should be like this or like that. We expect the other person to be kind, maybe to us, or to know about the Dharma and to behave mindfully, maybe not. Can we receive any kind of words with the same kind of wise attention, I would say? We have to make a pause. We have to be mindful of ourselves, and this is why we train in meditation, right? To know what's arising. And let's meet that. Let's meet this harsh speech, or let's meet this praiseful speech, words. Last time I read an excerpt of the Great Exhaustion discourse of to Rahula, to the son of the Buddha, if I remember. And I would say, I'm just recollecting, I'm going to get it, because I think it's still a good illustration of equanimity. For those who are practicing the jhanas, in the fourth jhana, there is equanimity. Equanimity is the main feature of the fourth jhana, the rupa jhana. All right, I found it. And yeah, this is, there is this quote often used nowadays. This is just to illustrate also the fact to be malleable or to live in life. And this is be like water, right? We know that one. Be like water. And last time I just read an excerpt of these discourses, which could be like earth. But now let's look at be like water. And I think that be like water is actually comes from the Buddha, because the Buddha so talks to his son, and he doesn't say be like water, but he says develop the meditation in tune with water. And he says, for when you are developing the meditation in tune with water, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind. Just as when people wash what is clean or unclean in water, feces, urine, saliva, pus, or blood, the water is not horrified, humiliated, or disgusted by it. In the same way, when you are developing the meditation in tune with water, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind. So I think this is also a good illustration, and a kind of development of the famous quote, be like water. And actually it goes with fire, with wind, and also with space. Okay, let's read also the one with space, because we worked with space today. So again, the Buddha addresses his son, and he gives as an advice, develop the meditation in tune with space. For when you are developing the meditation in tune with space, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind. Just as space is not established anywhere, in the same way, when you are developing the meditation in tune with space, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind. So those were the words from the Buddha to his son, how to develop meditation with some simile. Then you have to experiment with that. But the perception with space is actually quite, an analogy that he uses quite often. All right, that's it for today. So thank you for attending today again. If you have any question, please unmute yourself and ask. Please feel free to leave or to stay with me for a while. Have a nice day too.